Hello Teefs, welcome to the very first family cooking video of the month. My name is Rafi, and I will be your host for this week. Today I will be cooking Bilo Bilo. Ginatan is a dish that is considered a sweet treat made with sticky rice balls and is often enjoyed for dessert. Ginatan is a Filipino term that refers to food cooked with gata, or coconut milk. It literally translates to mean done with coconut milk. With me, I have some rice flour, sweet potatoes, jackfruit, some coconut milk, tapioca pearls, or what the kids like to call boba, and some plantain. Oh crap, I forgot about one thing. You're gonna need some sugar, like a lot of sugar. We're getting diabetes up in here. What you'll also need is, hang on, let me shimmy these dudes to the side real quick. Ugh. There we go. Excuse me, sir, I said move. Okay, you're gonna need something to cook with, like a stove. I have this electric burner that is totally legal inside where I live, and you will also need a big pot. You'll also need a measuring cup. I don't really have a measuring cup, so I'm gonna use these measuring spoons that has a cup labeled on it. And you will also need something to mix your ingredients with, like a whisk. And you'll also need some containers to contain all your ingredients. You're gonna need a few more containers than what I have in the shot right now. Okay, first things first. Let's start prepping everything. I'm gonna start by cooking the tapioca pearls. First, you're gonna want to pour 6 cups of water into the pot and let it boil. My burner doesn't really boil water that easily because it's ghetto, so I'm gonna cover it with a lid to make it boil faster. Because science. Once the water is boiling, add a decent amount of the pearls in and let it cook until they are translucent. You may need to replace the water if it gets a little too foggy or the water gets a little thick, and you might need to repeat this process until they become translucent, but you know how it is. Or maybe you don't. I don't know. And now for the fun part. Yay! Let's start making the rice balls. Pour 1 cup of water into a mixing bowl along with 2 cups of rice flour. Make sure that you get all of it and shake off the excess that's inside the cup. And now you're gonna want to whisk it with a whisk. Once you realize that the whisk might not really be working for you, go and try grabbing, I don't know, like a large spoon. Maybe that'll work. Hopefully that'll work. Maybe it's not gonna work. Maybe you should try rereading the instructions that you found on the internet and regret all of your life choices and use a fork like the instructions say. That's much better. Mix the water rice flour mixture until it is homogeneous and switch to your hands. Knead the dough until it forms a ball. If it feels too sticky or too dry, then adjust as needed. Then use half a teaspoon to scoop up a small part of the dough and roll it into your hands to form a smaller ball. If you think that this process might be a little tedious and annoying, it is. You know, this would be a really great bonding moment if you had like children or something, but I am a single, broke, 22-year-old college student who don't got no time for no children at the moment. So I'm just gonna do all this by myself. Once you have divided your dough into little balls and let out your anger, transfer them into a container and put them aside for later. Next, let's start cutting up the fruits. Let's start with the sweet potatoes. Use a knife to peel and cut your sweet potatoes. I would recommend using 2 large sweet potatoes because I did not even end up using that third one, so it is just chilling in my shelf and I don't know what to do with it. I'd also recommend using a sharper knife because there were a few close calls there. Might have lost a finger a few times. Now let's move on to the plantains. We will peel and cut up our plantains with the same knife. What I did is cut them in half one way and then cut them in half again another way. Again, I'd probably suggest using less plantains than I did here. 3 is probably enough. Now, we will move on to the jackfruit. Use your handy dandy can opener to open the can and rinse off the liquid inside. After the jackfruit is all rinsed, gently pour the jackfruit onto your cutting board. Then you're going to want to cut these into strips. But personally, in retrospect, I think it'd be better if you cut them one more time into little chunks because the strips can turn out to be a little too big. Finally, let's start cooking the ginatan. I got my 2 coconuts firmly grasped in my hands. Use your handy dandy can opener that you misplaced because you're an idiot and use it to open up the cans. Or, well, at least try to open up the cans. Why won't this can open? Does it like hate me or something? I think this is a sign of how my life is going. Oh my god. Come on, bro. I had a rough week. Just like open. Oh, thank god. Now use something to pick the lid off the can like a knife. And make sure you scrape off the excess milk so we don't be wasteful. And move on to the other can. Thankfully, this can opens up fine. The other one was just being mean. That one is going in the trash. It does not deserve to be recycled. Now let's bring our burner back into frame. To start off, you'll want to pour 1 cup of water. And then you're going to want to pour the 2 cans of coconut milk in the pots. Yes, look at all that coconut milk splashing onto my table and my brand new sweater. Mix up the water and coconut milk until it is all combined and homogeneous. Oh, don't forget to add 3/4 cups of sugar in the mixture. I low-key forgot to add it until the very end because I'm dumb. Now you're going to want to cover the pot and bring it to a boil. After this, it's all easy pickings from now on. You're going to want to add your cubed sweet potatoes that I stored in my bag. No, the bag is totally not touching the pot. You're just seeing things. Stir the ginatan over the sweet potatoes so that they're all covered and cover the pot. You're going to want to let the sweet potatoes cook for about 5 to 10 minutes. Next, let's add the plantains. Gently pour the plantain into the ginatan, and just like the sweet potatoes, stir the mixture a bit so that everything is coated with coconut goodness. Now let's add the rice balls. I highly recommend putting them out one at a time and then mixing it a bit. You don't really want to pour them all at once. Yeah, see this right here? Do not do that, because in the end you're gonna have a bunch of balls clumped together and you're gonna have to separate them with like a yeah, see that you don't want that. Now you're gonna have to separate them individually with a fork or something, which is very annoying. Now let's add the boba. Look at all that tapioca pour in there. As you might see, it is clearly still white and not translucent because I did not cook it long enough. Don't be like me, kids. Lastly, let's add the jackfruit. Put that in the mixture and let it cook for another 5 to 10 minutes. And then you are all done. Masarap. Thank you for watching this lengthy video, and tune in next week for the next one. Salamat!